Hello friends, welcome back to B Pharma Wise. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about non-aqueous titrations. Now, as the name suggests, non-aqueous titrations means the titration will be carried out in organic solvents and water will not be used. Now, why we have to go for non-aqueous titrations? The first and foremost reason the non-aqueous titrations are so popular in pharmaceutical industry for various acids is the drugs which you are using in various pharmaceutical formulations, they are mostly either very weak acids or very weak bases. Now, along with this, the acids and bases which are weak, like the drugs, they have very weak solubility and very weak reactivity in the aqueous medium, and this leads to poor end results in the aqueous titrations. So what we can do is we will just replace water with some organic solvent and then we can come up with some satisfactory results. So first question we need to answer here is why we have to shift from aqueous to non-aqueous. So with an example, I'll try to explain what happens when a weak acid or weak base reacts with particular acid or base in presence of water and as opposed to that in absence of water. So we will start. So now consider an example of a base like amine. Amine is a weak base and it is your analyte. Okay, now this you want to react with any acid of your choice. Now, being a weak base, this amine is supposed to take up this proton, because in non-aqueous titrations we follow the definition of acid and base according to Lowry and Bronsted concept, because we cannot use the Arrhenius concept in the non-aqueous titration. What is acid as per Lowry-Bronsted theory? It is the proton donor. And who is a base as per Lowry-Bronsted theory? It is a proton acceptor. So this definition we will use henceforth in this lecture. Okay, so here your amine is a base, so it is supposed to accept the proton. Now if it accepts the proton, it will yield RNH3 plus. Right. Now what happens if there is water in the medium? If there is water in the medium, that will accept, or that will actually compete with this weak base amine, and it will accept the proton to form H3O plus. Now see, all the H plus ions which were supposed to react with the weak base amine are now being utilized by water also. So water competes with the weak base for acceptance of proton in case of bases. Now let's discuss what will happen if we are dealing with compound like alcohol, which is weakly acidic. Now this weakly acidic compound, if it is reacting with a base, it will give you, what a acid will do is it will give this proton to the base as per the definition of acid. So what we will get is BH plus plus RO minus. Okay, so this is what it is supposed to do. But what if there is a presence of water in the medium? Now water is amphoteric in nature. It can accept proton, it can give away the proton. So now this water will compete with this weak acid to accept or to give the proton to the B, and it will form BH plus plus OH minus. So see, if you are dealing with reactions of weak base or weak acid, the titrations of weak acid and weak base, and if there is presence of water in the medium, it is competing with your weak acid or weak base for either acceptance of proton or a donation of proton. So this is the reason why we don't want water to be present when we are carrying out titrations of weak acid and weak bases. Okay, this is one of the reasons. Now I will tell you what is going to happen when we remove water from the medium and when we replace water with some organic solvent. So let's discuss what happens there. So now imagine the reaction is happening with the solvent, non-aqueous solvent, glacial acetic acid. Now glacial acetic acid is the commonly used solvent for non-aqueous titrations, and the formula for it is CH3COOH. Now for reacting a particular analyte, I'll be using a titrant called as acetus perchloric acid. Now what is acetus perchloric acid? I'll tell you. What we are going to do is we will react acetic acid with perchloric acid. Okay, now perchloric acid is a very strong acid, and what is the role of acid? To give away the protons. So as this perchloric acid will forcefully give its proton, and being weak acid than perchloric acid, acetic acid has to accept that proton. So it will form CH3COOH2 plus, and this particular ion is called as onium ion. Okay, now this onium ion, you can see, although the acid is weak, but still it was acid. Now it has one more proton with it, so it is so eager to give away that proton. So whenever you are using this CH3COOH2 plus, which is onium ion, as a titrant to react with any weak base, it will easily give away this proton and it will form BH plus. Now the solvent acetic acid will not interfere or will not compete with your titrant during the reaction. So this is the advantage of replacing water from the medium, which was actually competing with the titrant for the reaction with the analyte. So this is what happens when you replace water with the non-aqueous solvents and non-aqueous titrants like acetus perchloric acid. Now in this case you have reacted or you have analyzed weak base using this acetus perchloric acid, but similarly you can also titrate weak acids using dimethylformamide as the solvent and alkali methoxides as the titrants. Okay, so in that case you can easily titrate weak acids also. So this is the reason why we are replacing water with non-aqueous solvents, and in this case your weak acids and weak bases will be easily titrated and you will get satisfactory endpoints. In the next video, we shall discuss what are the desirable properties a solvent must possess in order to be used in the non-aqueous titrations. Okay, so if you have not subscribed the channel, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that when I upload a new video, you will be notified and you can watch the video. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.